Hello, my horror movie peeps. I just got done watching the latest Halloween movie, Halloween Ends. And with this 13th installment in the Michael Myers franchise, we follow again Laurie Strode, who is dealing with the aftermath of the events of Halloween Kills, set 4 years later, where it seems like she's going to be able to put the trauma behind her, only for Michael Myers to show up one more time. That's all pretty much it. Without giving any spoilers to you guys, this will be a spoiler-free review, but let me tell you, there is going to be a spoiler video once the movie releases, and I am going to have so much more I want to say and rant off about. But for now, sticking to this current timeline that Blumhouse has provided for us, I was someone that really ended up enjoying Halloween 2018. I know it had its bumps in the road, but I thought it was a solid, great start to bring back Michael Myers on the big screen. To me, it showed real opportunity for what Blumhouse could do with this character, and I was so excited to see where they would go with it. Then Halloween Kills rolled around, and that was for sure a dip in quality, but it was still enjoyable for me. It was some of the most brutal, goriest kills of the franchise. Sure, we had some of the dumbest characters put on screen, but recently watching both of them back to back in preparation for Halloween Ends, they make a great pairing together. So yeah, for the most part, my mindset is I've really been enjoying this timeline. I think they have something great on their hands, and I was so excited to see how are they going to end this timeline. What will be the finale for this universe? I hope it's something great. Bro, they made some choices in this movie. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it for you guys. I am flabbergasted. I wish I could have been in the writing room with the creative team when they were coming up with the idea for Halloween Ends, because I just want to see how they justify the story I just witnessed. Halloween Ends takes such a bold swing in the franchise that I really am puzzled with some of the decisions they made here. This movie is going to be one of the most divisive Halloween films ever made, and it's going to be talked about for all eternity. This is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 of the Halloween franchise, or the Last Jedi of the Halloween franchise, or heck, it's going to be on the same level of discourse among fans the same way Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 was. Before I get to more negatives on this movie, I do want to praise at least some of the stuff that works, because I do think Halloween Ends had some interesting concepts and fascinating ideas that I actually did want to see explored in the Michael Myers universe. That's one thing I want to pat them on the back. They made a bold decision. They took a swing, although I don't think they pulled it off. I still think it's worth appreciating that they attempted something new here and worked kind of outside of the box from what you expect a Halloween Michael Myers movie to be. Because the movie was not 100% me just scratching my head and wondering, how did this actually get made? There are so many great elements that actually work here. For one, Laurie Strode I think is the best she's ever been in any Halloween film. In this movie, she no longer has that extreme paranoia personality that made her seem a little eccentric in Halloween 2018, and she's also not sidelined like she was in Halloween Kills. She is a presence in this film. She kind of has her life in order. She seems a lot happier, and you enjoy every moment you get with Laurie Strode. And I truly do mean it. I think this will be a lot of people's favorite version of Laurie Strode on screen. Heck, I'll even say the first 20 minutes of this movie really reeled me in and had me hooked, and I was like, this is gonna be such a great finale. And a lot of that is because we were dealing with the aftermath of the last two movies. We have characters like Hawkins, Allison, Lindsay trying to just move on with their lives, and with the way this timeline has actually made me groan for a lot of these characters, it was nice just to spend some time with them. I also even want to praise the cinematography in this movie. I think this is also a beautifully shot Halloween film that looks really nice. The music also perfectly fits in with the atmosphere and really sets the tone for a lot of moments. While you don't get as many kills as the last two movies, the couple that you do get are kind of jaw-dropping and some really fun to see. And I think the biggest praise I can give this movie is the last 10 to 15 minutes. That final act where it's the showdown between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers is so satisfying. I mentioned for the longest time Halloween H2O was my preferred Laurie vs. Michael fight, that I thought that ending was perfect. This one kind of tops that. So now, with all that said, everything that happens after the 20-minute mark and before you get to those last 10 to 15 minutes, it's just so confusing. I am like, why did you decide to do this? And it's all really having to do with them introducing a new character into this movie that I thought was just such a weird choice for your finale. This is your wrap-up of this timeline. Why make the conscious decision to have such dedicated screen time to someone completely brand new? Because I'll be honest with you guys, people who are fans of Lindsay Wallace, oh, she is so sidelined in this movie, she's an afterthought. Because again, not trying to spoil anything, but I was someone that was open to what they were going to do with Corey, but the way the movie plays it out, they botched it. There are elements of the Corey character I really like, and I thought they had something really smart and cool here until it just goes downhill after one scene. Then it just becomes a drag, and you're thinking to yourself, are they playing the right movie right now? And that's probably not even the worst part of it. The worst part to me is this movie is extremely disrespectful to Michael Myers. I am not kidding. Whether you have liked this version of the timeline or not, I think a lot of people can agree that James Jude Courtney, who portrays the Shape, Michael Myers, in this version of Halloween, has been the scariest version of Michael Myers. He has gotten the movements down right, the head motions, the stabbing. He is an intimidating force that always felt so unstoppable on screen. Here, they tear all that down. You are not going to be scared of his version of Michael Myers after this movie. It also just feels contradicting to what you were setting up his version of Michael Myers to be in the other two movies. The man barely feels like a threat in here, and that just sucks to say and kind of diminishes the awesomeness of the finale. There's so much more I want to get off my chest and talk about here, but then it falls into spoiler territory. To kind of just really wrap it up, at the end of the day, this is still going to be somebody's favorite Halloween movie. That's kind of the beauty of this franchise. 13 movies in, the movie you think is the worst out there is somebody's most favorite. So even though I'm someone who came out extremely disappointed with this finale, this movie could end up being your favorite of the franchise for some of the new things they tried doing in here. And like I was mentioning, I wouldn't even blame them, because there are elements in here that I think are really strong, that were promising, that could have been such a better movie, but they kind of fumbled that execution. Really, the fault of Halloween Ends is that it's a finale movie. If this was just another one of the sequels, I think it would have been received a lot better amongst fans, because it almost sets up new things where the franchise could go. But because this is being branded as the finale and the closing chapter, it's just not as satisfying with the way you presented the story. We all know there's going to be another Michael Myers movie, but I don't think it's going to be with this timeline. If we see another Halloween film, it's going to be a reboot or carrying off from a different point in the Halloween universe. So when it comes to Halloween Ends, I'm going to give action 2 stars. This is more of a somber Halloween movie. You're not going to get as much action as Halloween Kills, even a little bit less from Halloween 2018, and I didn't really mind that because I wanted to spend some time with these characters, and then the movie kind of forgets about them halfway through. Commenting the movie, I'm going to give it 3 stars. This might actually be the most humorous out of the new Blumhouse timeline. There were a lot of jokes in here that had my crowd audibly laughing, and there's even moments in here that are not supposed to be funny that you're just going to laugh at. Drama in the movie, I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. I think they fumbled the story in here. You had some strong concepts, strong ideas that I actually wanted to see them tackle, but the way they go about it and present it in this ending chapter of a movie just did not work for me. Horror in the movie, I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. There's definitely some great kills in here, the very few that you get. Even the opening sequence, I think, is something very chilling for like a parent, but just the way they disrespect Michael Myers in this movie, the star of your franchise, is just kind of baffling. Suspense in the movie, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. I'll be honest with you, my suspense for this film did not kick in until those last 10 to 15 minutes where we get the big final battle. That's where I was actually on the edge of my seat, wondering how it was going to end, being satisfied with that specific ending, but everything before just didn't really have me like on the edge of my seat. Casual fans, I'm going to give it a B-. I think those will be the people who enjoy this one the most, who aren't hardcore Michael Myers fans. Cinephiles, I'm going to give it a C-, and critically, I'm going to give it an F. With Halloween Ends, this is for sure one you just rent and watch at home.
That'll do, Donkey. That'll do.
Again, that's just my opinion on the movie. You guys know I'm a big theater experience kind of going guy, and I was rooting for people to go see this finale in the theaters. Nah, watch it on streaming, alright? I think it'll cushion some of the blows in this movie for you that you didn't go and spend your hard-earned money and drive out to a theater. Still, I'm going to be really curious to hear what you guys think about this movie. Like I said, I know there's going to be someone who this movie is their favorite Halloween film, and I'm so happy for you, man. To me, it just didn't quite get there for me, and I'll be expanding a lot more once I put out my spoiler video. So stay tuned for that, but don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.